Okay, Ben. Lots to read between the lines on that, if you will. For now, we'll just start with looking at Sheldon Keefe's record under his 5 seasons under him. This is what they did. Now, sure, the right side is all that matters, right? That they failed to advance beyond the first round all but one time. But the overall record is very, very good. I mean, they have a lot of talent. We know about it. This core four that we've talked about forever. The question now becomes, and it's hard to know what they're saying there, but when I listen to Shanahan talk, it sounds like there will be changes made to this core four that we've come to know.
That's great, but I don't think they can. I mean, these guys are protected with their no movement clauses, right? These are things where decisions were not made. I mean, last summer, the decision was made that the best way to turn this team around was to make an off-ice move, and they switched GMs. They didn't do anything with the core four, and they believed in that group, and that's fine. They see these guys on the day-to-day. But last July 1st is when Mitch Marner's no movement clause came into play. So now you've got Marner and Tavares. So, you know, talking about change, and yes, I would agree with you. They're alluding to there could be changes. I just think that they're very limited in what they could do now, because now they need the player to
agree to that.
Participate in that. You know what I mean? So I'm very curious where this goes. They may be forced to run it back again. You know what I mean? Like, this team has gotten better. Like, the last 2 years, I've really liked them. I picked them to beat Boston this year, and I thought they played really well. Unfortunate stuff with Willie and Austin with their health, but they're still a broken thing here. And I think Brendan Shanahan nailed that. I think he's very accurate in that. But now it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those decisions, I felt like were already made last summer.
Yeah, exactly, because now all the power is in the players' court. And if they don't want to go anywhere, they're not going anywhere. And that's part of the business, and they've earned that ability. It's disappointing because when I look at this Toronto team and watching that first-round series, I thought that's the best I'd seen them play in playoffs for quite a few years. That was a good-looking hockey team. And so it's crazy to see, you know, it's overtime of Game 7, you know, one goal could make the difference of us talking about something else instead of Sheldon Keefe losing his job and talking about blowing up the core. I mean, like, that's how close it is because of their past.
But if they had won that Game 7 and they're in round 2 now, and then they get the doors blown off of them again in round 2, like, is it that different?
If the same thing happened that happened last year, then yes, we'd still be having the same conversation for sure. But I just thought this Toronto team, you know, with the additions, not to leave anybody out, but I thought the additions of Domi and Bertuzzi were great. I thought those are playoff players, and I thought they made a pretty big difference in how they played. Unfortunately, they were quite out goaltended, and nothing against Samsonov. He played amazing in Game 7. Wool was great. Unfortunately, he got hurt. And then you look at the list of free agents, looks like the entire roster is a UFA. So changes are coming regardless. I just, like you said, I don't think it's possible to make changes to that core four, whether you want to or not. That's going to be in their court. But it is disappointing to see because, like I said, that first round playoff was the best playoff hockey that I've seen Toronto play in quite a while.
I think the one thing that's curious, sorry, Jamie, I'm curious to see, I think there's going to be tough conversations. They're going to have these tough conversations, but I'm curious to see if we're going to see a situation similar. And let's not forget, Brad Treliving was that guy in Calgary with Matthew Tkachuk. They had to have those tough tough conversations, but that worked out because Matthew Tkachuk helped kind of facilitate that, and they kind of said, all right, this is best for both sides, as opposed to him walking for nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if something similar, excuse me, like that can happen, with Mitch Marner, but maybe that's the tough conversations that they need to have.
Well, apparently Brad Treliving did say at one point in this media availability that everything is on the table. So I think you're right. Like, they might have those conversations. Maybe it's even with Austin. I don't know. And then suddenly it's like, I mean, they want to keep Austin. I know they want to. But if everything is truly on the table, you have those conversations. You find out, what do you guys want? Do you want to be here forever? Do you want to maybe have a change of scenery? And then maybe you have conversations with external parties, right? And that's how the Tkachuk deal happened. We'll see if something similar is happening.
Sorry, do last thing.
Go ahead, yeah.
They have, that's all, kind of part of it too, is the question was asked, do you believe the core four can still win a Stanley Cup? Yes did not come out of their mouths, right? So I think they did it the way they should. They
Yeah.
tiptoed around it. They
Yeah.
danced around it because, again, they might not have any choice. So if you said today, no, I don't. I think that we need to go a different direction. Well, then you can't trade. You can't make him move. Now you're back with him. Like, that's a nightmare. So I thought they did as good of a job as they could of kind of dancing that.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, too, is that, you know, the two guys who you'd look at that you're not moving would be Austin Matthews
Yeah.
and William Nylander. That you're like, no, I mean, we're having those guys, but then you take like a Tavares. He's getting older. He's their captain. Do you want to move him? He probably doesn't want to move. He's got a family and he's from the area. And then same with Mitch Marner. Like, I mean, they've talked about it. They are from the Toronto area. This is their like dream come true to play for the Maple Leafs. So now you have these two guys that they don't have to move.
Right.
And why would they want to move? This is their home. This is where they grew up. This is their dream to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it's not like, you know, having a Willie Nylander, if that was the guy that you'd look to move, being from Sweden, the ties aren't there, but there's ties there to the other two. So and it's the ball's in their court. So it's a very tricky situation.
It really is. And like you said, it's probably the most likely scenario is that they just run it back again and see what happens.